Did Google just dethrone OpenAI with the release of something called Gemini? So Gemini is a family of advanced AI models. Right out of the box, it is designed to be multimodal. That means it's not just about text, it's not just about images, it's not just about audio, it's about all of these things combined. So let's go through the announcement, go through some of the highlights, show you some examples, but then also I'm going to show you a post that Google made to show you how those examples were actually filmed, because they spliced those examples together in a certain way that is a little bit deceiving in my opinion. So here is the announcement. Welcome to the Gemini era, and it truly is an era. Let's jump in. As it says here, Gemini is built from the ground up for multimodality. What that means is it's across text, images, video, audio, and code. You don't have these little bitty models that you kind of splice together to get all of this in one. If we take a step back here, we can really see all the different kind of inputs that are coming into these models. So text, images, video, audio, and code. What's amazing here is kind of, what is next? If we think about that for a minute. When are models or machines going to be able to feel and make decisions on the feeling? So for example, a lot of devices that we already use, they already can feel. They know the temperature. They know when they're getting too hot. If you overheat your phone, it'll tell you and it'll shut off. What's exciting to see is as these models advance, what other inputs could we feed into the model so it could help it make better decisions? What it says here is that Gemini was the first model to outperform human experts on this massive multitask language understanding, this MMLU. So what is MMLU? It's this massive multitask language understanding test. The test covers 57 tasks, including elementary mathematics, history, computer science, law, and more. The reason they use it is because it's the most popular method to test the knowledge and problem solving of AIs. Okay, so we get in here to the capabilities. So this is the Gemini Ultra model. This is the biggest one. They're trying to dethrone GPT-4, obviously. So in the MMLU, obviously beat it there. In reasoning, this big bench hard and drop, it won, not by a lot, but it did. This hella swag, it did not win. But in these other ones, both math and code, it did win. And sometimes just barely. And now in these capabilities, it's putting Gemini up against GPT-4 Vision. Because remember, Gemini is multimodal, so it knows how to do this already, and GPT-4 Vision was that separate model. In imaging, it did beat in all of these tests. In video, it beat in these tests, and then in audio, Whisper, it beat in those tests. Here are the three sizes of the model that it comes in. So Ultra, Pro, and Nano, and let's see what these do. So Ultra is the most capable and largest model, so you would not be running this one at home on your own machine. Pro is the best model for scaling across a wide range of tasks. Perhaps if you had a beefy machine, you could run this at home or spin something up in the cloud and use it. Ultra, certainly you'd be using it as a service, kind of like we do GPT-4. And here is Nano, so it's the most efficient model for on-device tasks. So that would be, I'm really wondering here if that would be things that certainly aren't connected to the internet, so they can't just phone home and get an answer. They actually do the AI processing on device. And these are things that don't have a lot of memory. These are things that, such as like the smart pen or, your smartwatch, or if you're out, perhaps you're out camping and you have some cool camping devices, camping smart devices that need to do AI to help you on your trip. In the early 2000s, we were all talking about embedded systems, real-time systems. What is an embedded system? An embedded system is a system in which there's a computer inside of it, but you don't really know there is a computer there. So there's no mouse and keyboard for you to type and get feedback. But the system does have inputs and it does control things, but you just don't have a mouse and keyboard. So for example, cars received input from the steering wheel. Cars received inputs from, pushing on the brake, pushing on the gas. And then the computer in the car would make decisions based on that. And then we kind of got into the IoT, Internet of Things. So everything is smart. It connects to the internet. It knows how to do things because it can phone home and do really cool tasking. Now it seems like the next phase is not just a smart device, but perhaps an AI device. So your device is not very smart unless it can do AI. I'm really wondering if we're going to start seeing AI in everything, in your camera, in your mic. Any system that has a computer in it, you're really wondering if AI is going to be incorporated in that. Let's watch an example here of Gemini interacting with this cup and paper, trying to shuffle it around.
You are trying to get me to find the paper ball under the cup. I accept the challenge. The cup to the left.
Nice.
And let's watch this example of when they do a magic trick.
Sweet.
The coin should be under the right hand.
I don't know.
The coin is in the left hand using a sleight of hand technique to make it appear as if the coin has disappeared.
Okay, that's pretty incredible. When I first watched it, I thought that was all happening in real time. So the camera was on it, Gemini was watching it, they did the things and then asked it questions and it just updated and did the work. But that's not actually how it was filmed. Let's pop over here to this blog post to actually look at how those things were filmed. So here we go. We're talking about multimodal inputs. Explain what I'm doing. You're holding a coin in your right hand. And then it gives it two images. So the hand open, and then up and down, and then over. And where do you think the coin is? The coin's in your right hand because it saw it in the right hand here. And then it says, look here what happened. The coin is gone. And then summarizes, hey, what happens? Again, this is not what you look at in the video. You think it's all being filmed in real time, and it's just watching and giving you the answer. Now, the cup shuffling one was truly amazing when I first saw that, but let's look how it was really filmed and what prompts it gave it. So they start out here with a lot of clues here. So instructions, there are 3 cups, one left, middle, and right. Next, we tell Gemini starting position, the ball is in position 3. So current state, empty, empty ball in position 3. And then you feed it with a bunch of images, right? And then you say swap 2 and 3, and you tell it the next state. So it knows empty, ball, empty. Again, this is multimodal prompts here. Another set of images, so swap 1 and 2, and you give it the state again, ball, empty, empty. Another one here, swap, and then we ask Gemini, you're prompting Gemini, okay, where do you think it is? Where is the ball? And then Gemini responds with empty, empty ball. I'm really wondering, did it have to do this state thing to tell Gemini to help it? I wonder if we could have just said the language there. And then here is, Gemini got it right, and here is explanation from Gemini of what happened. Here's another example that I want to show you from the actual report, the white paper that came out with it. And it said, hey, here's the prompt. So write code to rearrange the subplots and the figures using the latest version of Matplotlib. Put the 3D parabola, this guy here, subplot on the top left, put the tangent function on the bottom right. For the remaining 2 subplots, one of them should stay in its original position and other should fill the last spot. What did it do? Here was the prompt. Here are the images. Here is the response. So it says the current subplots are top left, top right. It recognized them first off, and it said the new one should be here. And then it wrote code to do that. And then here is the rendered code that actually did it. What's pretty remarkable is 4 things. So recognition. So it recognized the functions depicted in the plots. Number 2, inverse graphics to infer the code that would have generated the subplots. Number 3, instruction following to put the subplots in the desired position. And number 4, abstract reasoning to infer the exponential plot must stay in its original place because the sine plot must move out of the way for the 3-dimensional plot. Pretty incredible example. And here's the last example I wanted to show you in the paper that I really loved. So here's the input image. Let's say you got some eggs and some vegetables, and you say, hey, what's the first step to make a veggie omelet with these ingredients? And then the model says, hey, crack the eggs into a bowl and whisk them. And then we see another image being taken. Thank you for the instructions. I started making my omelet. Does it look ready now? So it's asking it, hey, is this food done? And then it says, it looks like it's almost ready. You can flip it over to cook the other side. No image is a follow-up to the previous. And then we ask, hey, why is it not ready? It's not ready because the eggs are still runny. And then another picture, and it says, what about now? It looks ready now. You can take it off the heater and serve it. I think this is a really incredible use case. So how is it going to get these images? Like, are we all going to have smart kitchens in the future? Are we going to have cameras everywhere? Are we going to be wearing like those Google Glass things with cameras on them that can just see everything that we can see, feed that back to the AI, and help us in just our daily normal tasking? Pretty incredible example that I was really excited about. Also, if you have time, please check out the appendix. A lot more question and answering here from the model and a lot more experiments. If you enjoyed the content, please consider a like and subscribe. Thank you. Until next time.